What's going on, everybody? This is Marcus, your host and moderator of the No Hesi Hoopcast. Man, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, and I hope you are as well. So before we even get to the fellas, we're going to get to them. I know they're ready to go. But please do us a huge favor and be sure to subscribe, like, and also hit the bell notification so you can be alerted every time we go live, which is every Monday. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, we got Black Moses. We got Lee. Fellas, what's going on?
What's going on, man? I'm happy to be back here with you guys, man. I'm happy to be talking hoops, and I'm gonna talk a little trash too.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be back with the gang, talking hoops on a Monday. Shout out to y'all too. I hope everybody had a great week. Everybody out there, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be part of the Noti gang, right? Isn't that how they say it? That's what they say, right? Yeah, notification bell, right?
Yeah, I just got my notification right now.
There we go. There we go.
Let me do mine too.
Right.
All right. Hit the bell. It's that simple. All you got to do is hit the bell.
Absolutely, man. This is. I like to think this is one of the dopest, actually the dopest place to get, you know, your hoop content. So definitely be a part of the team. Fellas, there's a lot going on in the league, a lot of things happening, and we're just trying to make sense of it all, right? So let's start, before we go there, we're going to start with last week's pick'ems. We want to see who won and who lost. Black, we're going to start with you on this one, man. What you got?
I didn't do too well this week. I have to be honest with you. I made a couple bold picks. There's a lot of hate involved with it. I only got five out of the 14.
Ooh, okay.
All right, I ended up getting 8 out of 14. So I'll take that dub.
Do we know that?
We have to get our record straight too. So we know. I know we're tied right now, but I don't know what we're tied at.
Right, but in the meantime, I'm gonna be smoking on that black pack. All right.
That's what's up. All right, so we got the W.
Fair enough.
So, guys, I definitely want to get into what's going on in the league, but we can start nowhere else but with the Irish, the Celtics, and their head coach Brad Stevens. He's in the hot seat, fellas, or should he be in the hot seat? That's what I want to know. We're going to start with you on this one, Lee. What are your thoughts? I know Black is ready. Black is ready to go. We're going to start with you on this one, Lee. What is your thoughts on Brad Stevens and the Celtics this year?
Look, man, you see I got the green tint going, right? You know what I'm saying? So all of that just to show that I'm actually rocking with Brad Stevens, all right? I have no qualms, all right, or quarrels with Brad Stevens or Danny Ainge, right? Or the players that they have. Kimball Walker has been hurt. He's recently came back, so that's been a great thing for them. They're 6-4, or excuse me, 4-6 in their last 10, which isn't great, but it's not horrible either. They're currently sitting in the 3 seed. Now I know Black's gonna bloviate about the East rankings, right? And how all those teams are clumped up together, barely over 500. Look, let me just go ahead and throw out his let me throw out his narrative right now. That way I spoil his plot once he gets there. All right. So you know, they just beat the Wizards, who are a hot team, you know what I mean? So they were able to put them away with a game winner by Jason Tatum. And this isn't the first game winner that he's made this season as well. So and he has a dunk that was very high profile. We'll be seeing that for weeks to come as well. Not quite Anthony Edwards esque, you know, but it still was a body on a Lopez, you know. And anytime you can body a Lopez, that's a good look for you, you know what I mean? Especially a wing player. So I got no problem with the Celtics. But Black, if you want to blow VA and tell us if you have a problem or not, please do so. And the floor is yours.
Well, Lee, if you could do me a favor, can you tell me the record?
Right. Yeah, let me pull that up. Actually, let me pull that up for you because I knew you were going to want that. You know. Let's see. Eastern Conference. All right. So we have the Celtics currently.
They're the sixth. They're the sixth seed.
I stand corrected. I thought they were the 3 seed.
Can you put the screen back on me real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They're the sixth seed, not the third. And they're also 17-17, barely breaking 500. Now I'm gonna ask both you fellas.
Yeah.
Are the Celtics living up to the expectations we had for them coming into this season?
No, I say no.
Say no.
Now I have to place the spotlight on Bradley Stevens. Okay? I'm coming for Bradley Stevens now. Just 3 seasons ago, we had him in the same category as Pop, didn't we?
We did.
We did. Yeah.
3 seasons later, well, let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
When they signed Kyrie Irving and they signed Gordon Hayward, we thought that they were championship bound.
Right.
Now, obviously, they had an immediate injury to Gordon Hayward, so they had to rock without him. And Kyrie also, I believe, became injured in the playoffs. So we gave him the pass, right? Kyrie plays another season, and they then moves on from them, right? They get Kimball Walker, and Gordon Hayward just never really pans out for them. Now, mind you, Gordon Hayward played for Brad Stevens at Butler, right? So if anybody could get Gordon Hayward to max out, it would be Brad Stevens.
Allegedly.
That did not happen. Now we look at Gordon Hayward fast forward a season, and he's looking like he's on the Jazz again, right?
Right.
So again, we have to start looking at how Brad Stevens is not holding his team accountable for having a better season. All right. Kimball Walker, he's been hurt. But let's look at his numbers, Leak, if we can. Let's look at his numbers while healthy.
Yeah, let's pull up Kimball. Yeah. Let's see.
Kimball Walker is underachieving.
Absolutely.
All right.
I honestly think
while we wait for that, I'm gonna keep bloviating. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown started off the season white hot. And he's been fairly inconsistent in these last 10 to 12 games. Jason Tatum has been fairly inconsistent in these last 10 to 12 games. The personnel is talented. All right. Now you can say they lack bigs, which is very true. But there ain't a whole lot of bigs on the East anyway, which we'll get into when we talk about All-Stars. That being said, at some point, we got to start looking at Brad Stevens and the job he's doing as the head coach of the Boston Celtics. We had these guys as a championship threat this season, and they're looking like they're barely going to make the playoffs. All right, we got Kimball Walker's numbers here. 18, 3, and 4 in 18 games played. It's not bad. But how much money is Kimball Walker getting paid to give us these numbers?
The contract is I'm pretty sure that's
he's max. He got a little mini max, right?
Yeah, he got a mini max. Yeah, he got a 6-foot max. He got a midget max. All right.
And they were hoping that Kimball Walker could give him some of the same magic that Isaiah Thomas did several seasons ago, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Leak,
do you have a rebuttal?
No, he's cooking. I mean, I stand corrected.
I'll end my take with this. the team is way too talented to be underperforming as they are right now. Does Danny Ainge make a play for somebody who could fortify the middle? Absolutely, without question. But the team's not too different in its construction than it was a couple seasons ago when they were in championship contention. And they just picked up Tristan Thompson, who's also underachieving in his new role. So I think, again, we got to start looking at Brad Stevens. If this was any other coach, if this was Fizdale, let's say, he would have been out of there already.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'll leave it at that.
Hey, Tristan Thompson is averaging 7.6 points a game and 8.5 rebounds. All right. How many minutes is this guy playing? He's playing 22 minutes a game. He's definitely I don't want to call him.
They signed him to a nice contract.
Nice little deal.
It did. I don't want to say he's a shell of himself, but he just never was anything too special aside from like giving effort in the playoffs only.
Right. Man, Black coming in hot, y'all. This is what we want to see. This is what you guys jump on to see.
Look at that. Look at that. Look, Cliff.
We have some gentleman named Cliff Murray on.
Listen, Cliff, if you want to come bloviate, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. All right. Let's see. It's crazy how they aren't playing. Well, they have a solid roster. I agree. But Curtis, Skip and Tosh said it. The roster is too top heavy. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Like a woman, like an easy woman at a bar. That's a top heavy roster. All right.
My question to you fellas is, I mean, what moves should be made in order to make them more bottom heavy, I guess?
I mean, I'm gonna let you go, Mark, but they got wings there. They got wings on deck. So I mean, I'm gonna let you go on that, Mark.
Yeah, I think they have the pieces. I think everyone is just underperforming. I mean, I think it's as simple as that. We talk about Kimball Walker. He's just not performing well. And our friend of the podcast, correspondent, researcher, Skip, has some great points down in the comment section. I mean, Marcus Smart hasn't been playing as well as, Kimba's played, maybe half the season. So I think it's just underperforming. Everyone needs to, get more cohesiveness and gel. And I think the Celtics will turn this thing around. But I do agree with you, Black. Brad Stevens needs to take a lot of this blame. He needs to eat some of this.
Well, especially when, we're relying on young guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to be leaders. Mm-hmm. Not saying that they can't be at some point, but their teeth aren't long enough in the game to command the locker room. And that's where Brad Stevens has to step in and start holding some of these guys accountable. And I just don't see that out of him sitting on the bench. A lot of times, I don't even see him raise his voice, really. Yeah. So, I feel like, maybe the players have come to a point where they're just not respecting, his take, I guess. And they're not showing that on the court. That's just me.
They might be parenting themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good points, guys. So we got to move on. We got a lot to get to. The Wiz, have they eased on down the road? We want to talk about the Washington. They're looking a lot better. So we're gonna start with you on this one, Black. What are your thoughts on the Wizards and how they're turning things around?
I'm honestly baffled.
Yeah,
I'm. It's beyond me, if you will, because the team seems. Yes, they got Hachimura back. They got the Latvian laser, man, the shooter. His name is escaping me right now. Bertans. They got him. They got him back. He's starting to get into the flow. I honestly though, man, I don't know what's different now for them, but it seems as though whatever it is, it's being put together and it's working. Maybe you guys have a better idea of what's happening.
Man, honestly, bro, I can't even say. At least not with confidence, right? They're 7-3 in their last 10. They've literally flipped a switch. I mean, it seems like Russell Westbrook is I don't want to use the word deferring, but he knows who the scorer is, right? It's obviously Bradley Beal. So I just think they're hitting the groove, man. I think Scott Brooks is staying the course as far as trusting Russell Westbrook to be his representative on the floor. And I think Russell Westbrook is figuring it out with the whole team. And Bradley Beal's doing what he's been doing the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm not sure, but I definitely we got to talk about them because they're playing so well. They're playing at such a high level right now. But at the same time, I do need to see more. I do need to see what this turns into because I don't see anything specific that changed. But, they lost last night or the night before to the Celtics on a game winner by Jason Tatum, as we said earlier. They would have been 8-2 if that didn't happen in the last 10 games, man. That's a big turnaround. So I got to keep my eye on them. I got to keep my eye on them, Black.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I was just gonna say, with the way the East is set up right now, too. I mean, all it takes is 1 or 2 dominoes to fall in that 4th, 5th seed, and Wizards are back in playoff talks. Right. On top of that, we got the play-in aspect this year too. So, I mean, they really just got to get to like 10, and it could be good for them. But I just can't put my finger on it. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really been peeping them because of their start, right? Because of how disappointing that was. But it seems like they're looking now like what we thought they were going to look like at the beginning of the year. So shout out to them, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see if they keep it up.
Yeah, you just about summed it up, Black, that they're looking the way we all thought they would look to start the season. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on the Wizards. Now, another Wizard with the basketball that we want to keep an eye on and talk about is Zion Williamson. I mean, this brother – this brother's balling, and we're going to talk about it here. So, Lee, I got to get your thoughts on Zion's development and what are you thinking about his growth so far?
Man, he looks exceptional, Mark. I got to say, especially around the paint, around the basket. He's pretty much unstoppable. JJ Redick said it on his podcast. He said a lot of guys wish they can get 10 drives to their strong hand and finish with a layup every game. Every player wishes they could do that, right? That's an easy 20 points, right? If you can get 10 drives to your strong hand and lay it up. Well, Zion is the only one in the NBA that actually gets that. He literally gets to his left, he literally gets downhill, and he literally gets 10 layups a game. He leads the league in points in the paint.
Wow.
I was surprised. He's over Giannis with points in the paint. But as we can see, he's getting more comfortable handling the rock. They're letting him bring the ball up more and push the pace on a fast break. He's not getting it in certain spots. He is getting it in certain spots, but now he's able to kind of dribble the ball and make moves to get where he wants to go. Still resorts to spinning back to his left. But I'm sure as he goes in his career, continues to move forward, he'll be able to use that right hand more. But I mean, he's just unstoppable. He's such a strong force. He's like porridge. He's like oatmeal. You know what I mean? Like you don't feel him going down. He's gonna stick to you. I love it.
Totally agree. Black, what you think, man?
Man, I don't know if the Pelicans organization sprinkled something in his shrimp po' boy or what. I've never seen a brother this thick move this swiftly. I mean, he looks like Zion O'Neal, right? Down there in the paint.
Right.
I watched him play against the Bucks this past week, and I mean, he was bodying Giannis.
Right.
Like he was bodying Giannis like how somebody's dad bodies their son in the paint. You know what I mean? Giving them that paint work, and literally it was all interior shots, and there was nothing that anyone could do about it. I think he started off like 11 for 11 or 12 for 12. So he's accurate inside as well. Man, I know we were roasting him for, his size and the fact that he seemed to be injury prone off rip, but I definitely think he's putting it together now. He's finding out where his spots are, and he's looking flat out dominant. He's one of the bright spots for the Pels this season. I'll tell you that.
Fellas, I have to insert this, man. If you haven't, when you get a chance, even our listeners, go look at some prime Barkley footage. The similarities are very eerie. The only difference is Zion is more athletic, but as far as the bringing the ball up the court, the playmaking ability, Barkley had that too, and we're seeing that from Zion, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, this brother he's something special. He's something special.
Man, he looks like a immovable object, man.
Yeah.
Right. He looks like
nice
force. He looks like force times mass, right?
Now here's one side note question. I noticed that Stan Van Gundy allows Zion to dribble up to basically initiate the offense, as well as Brandon Ingram. Do you feel like, with that being said, that is kind of it's almost relegating guards like Lonzo and Bled to be more spot up shooters?
Absolutely.
I think that Zion's rise is something spectacular to watch. At the same time, the guards on their team, they're falling just as fast. Mm-hmm. All right. While Zion's value goes up, if they're not able to knock down the three ball on a catch and shoot, then their value will go down. It's just the way it is. You had to establish yourself as a factor prior to Zion basically doing what he's doing, in order, like Brandon Ingram did, right? Ingram established himself as a factor, as a trustworthy scorer, and he was able Zion
Thickumson.
He's thicker than government cheese. Thion Williamson. Yeah, he's definitely thicker than he was in college. I agree, Skip.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
Put it this way. My sources say he hasn't seen a plate of jambalaya that he did not like. All right.
Hey, he's like day and night from Duke, right? Not night and day, but day and night, right?
Oh man.
Hey, yeah. But the thing is, if you didn't prior to Zion's rise, if you didn't cast your lot in that mix, right? And I do mean that thick, lumpy mix, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you barely pull the spoon out. That's how thick the mix is, right? If you didn't throw your lot in that prior to Zion's rise, then you're considered a replaceable role player, and they will be looking to make replaceable role players because they've got their two guys in Zion and Brandon. They really just need defense and shooting around those two now, as far as Stan Van Gundy is concerned. I'm sure.
It seems like the guards are interchangeable at this point.
Absolutely. You got Lonzo Bledsoe, right?
Right.
You got Nikhil Lewis. You know what I mean? Like these guys have morphed in with each other and become pieces of themselves, right? You know what I mean? All for the sake of Zion's rise. And it might work for now, but I guarantee you two of those guys are gone. And I think it's gonna be Lonzo and Bledsoe.
And Redick.
Absolutely.
I forgot about Redick, right?
He ain't knocking down shots like he used to.
Right. Yeah. Lightweight red beans and rice. You know what I mean? Lightweight. Hey, doesn't Zataran sponsor Zion? I mean the whole team.
Hey, put it this way. Hey, I'm hungry now.
Right. Hey, what's that? Hey, shout out to let's get our Zion on. What's a couple soul food spots in Sac, man?
Right.
Lightweight. Shout out to Souths, right? You know what I mean?
Right. Fixings.
Shout out to Fixins. I know Zion's been there. I know.
Hey, put it this way. Hey, Zion Williamson, man. Hey, if you're ever in Sac, man, pull up the Urban Roots.
Yep.
We'll just open up the garage out back and just basically dump truck that thing to you, man. Yeah, shout out to Zion. Hey, we don't body shame here on No Hesi, man. We just having fun, man.
Hey, shout out to Zion Williamson, man. Also, he's one of the most efficient players in NBA history already. Of course, we talked about his paint work, but yeah, man, shout out to Zion.
It looks very sustainable. It looks sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, fellas, we're going to move on here to another big man that it looks like his game isn't sustainable. We're talking about our former Sacramento King, DeMarcus Cousins, man. Is he signing off, fellas? He was traded from the Rockets. Is there a destination for him? And if so, where do we think that will be? Black, let's start with you.
He was bought out by the Rockets. I don't know. I mean, when he played during the beginning of the season, he looked solid. I mean, he looked like a piece that on a winning team could give you something off the bench at least. Now, compared to how he started, like the little the meme, how it started versus how it is now, it doesn't look as epic as we thought it was going to be. Yeah. But I still think that DeMarcus Cousins could give a contender or a contender, if you will, something for the playoffs at least. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, League, I'll let you answer, but yeah, I think you definitely make some good points on that one.
I agree, Black. I think Cliff Murray says, how much better could he be in shape? Man, that's a scary thing to consider.
Yeah,
that's a scary thing to consider. And also with DeMarcus Cousins, right?
Yeah.
How much better could he have been if he was in shape? Maybe some of these injuries wouldn't have happened to him, right?
Right.
I mean, that guy, he came in the league looking like he had plantar fasciitis. The way he was real to move on those feet. You know what I mean? I think. Hey, look. Check this out. Bring Cousins back to Sac. Well,
that wouldn't help the tank.
Right. That would help the tank. Right. Hey, imagine Cousins and Hassan Whiteside on the same roster, right? Imagine what that locker room is like, right?
Toxic.
Yeah. Hey, I think he can help out a team like Miami or like
Celtics.
Celtics, absolutely. Milwaukee, right? This is kind of looking like that Melo thing, right? Where he's kind of being written off, and the teams that he had a chance to go to, the contenders, we almost feel like he should have went to these teams while he was actually in his prime or while he was playing at a high level. The Celtics and DMC, I've always thought they would have been a great mix. You know what I mean? But I can see somebody's going to pick him up. He's not going to go too long without being on a roster. I can also
passes physical.
I can see the Portland Trailblazers picking him up too. But teams, I can see the Lakers trying to pick him back up. Teams are going to be trying to get him just to have a mean guy that they could throw in for 5 to 10 minutes a night in the playoffs to put a body on somebody.
Yeah.
My sources have said the Lakers are not interested. I mean, that could be smoke screen for other teams. But
I've heard that too.
I noticed this past week that the Nets they released Roberson, Shumpert, and there was one other guy that they had picked up. They released all three of those guys for because if they would have kept them on, they would have had to guarantee their contracts.
Right.
So it seems like they're clearing up space and money for something. It could be DeMarcus Cousins, possibly. I think that would also give them some type of a boost. They already look really good, but that could give them some type of extra boost for the playoffs. I'm not sure where DeMarcus is going to land, but Leak, I agree with you. I think that a contender is gonna want to pick somebody like a DeMarcus Cousins up, especially if he's cheap.
Right. They waived Noah Vonleh as well.
That's who it was.
Part of the big wave too. So lightweight part of the wave, right? I think DMC can slide in there. Absolutely.
And they're lightweight looking at DeMarcus Cousins like some type of thrift, type of thrifted clothing, right?
Right. Like a jacket that you can't find everywhere, but you wear it 1 or 2 nights. You know what I mean? If you go out.
Give him a new home. You know what I mean?
Guys, let me ask you this. I mean, could DeMarcus Cousins be part of an arms race between the Lakers and the Nets? I mean, because not, just really pretty much grabbing him so that the other doesn't have him. Because I think that's the one thing that the Nets are missing is just a big body. They're very wing heavy. And then the Lakers, we know, hey, let's just be honest here. Mark Gasol is not cutting the mustard. Right. So they need a bigger piece. They really excelled when they had 2 bigs last year. So could that be part of an arms race between the 2 teams?
I'll tell you this, Mark. You make a great point, and I definitely think that the Brooklyn Nets should consider that. The reason why is because not only will they need those big bodies come playoff time to bang, also the Lakers cut DMC, right?
Yeah.
They cut him. So DMC might have a vendetta not only against the Lakers as an organization, but against the king. Right? And we know that Kyrie Irving wants every edge he can against the king, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And we know KD really ain't too fond of him on the floor either, the way he did him the last 2 finals they played against. So I would say that's a great move by the Nets, a psychological move, so to speak. Notice the crazy hand gesture that I did that, right? Hence the crazy with that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we definitely gonna keep an eye on it. What you think, Black, about that?
I agree with that. I don't think the Lakers will make a push for him just because I think more than anything, the Lakers kind of need to fortify their defense a bit. I would love to have DeMarcus Cousins back. I think he's a better option than Marc Gasol at this point. But at the same time, like somebody said in the comments, he requires a lot of touches offensively. And I don't know if that fits within the scheme of what we got going on. I feel like we need more shooting than anything else at this point.
Right.
So I would love to take him off the table, but I imagine that he's going to probably go somewhere where he feels like he's going to be utilized a little bit more. So if I were the Nets, I would definitely make that move.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
So, we're going to keep an eye on that one. So moving right along, fellas, here, the dead move, right? So who will be traded pre-deadline? We're going to talk about some potentials that we're hearing from our respective sources and just some things that we think may happen in the league. Black, we're going to start with you, man. What do you think is going to happen on the trade front?
I'm going to just give I think if we give like one name each, and just play it off of each other, that would be dope. I'm going to go ahead and just start it off with Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, that was mine too. Yeah.
I feel like right after the last episode of No Hesi where we were talking about Kristaps probably being traded, reports came out that his brother, who is also his agent, is a bit of a diva. All right. They're calling Kristaps high maintenance. And they're also saying that he's not happy with his role on the Mavs. So don't be surprised if Mark Cuban presses the abort button on his little experiment to try to create a Euro LeBron Anthony Davis combo and gets Kristaps up out of there. So I don't know to where, but I don't think the Mavs want to keep him.
So you think the number 2 for Luka will be a brother probably after the deadline?
And they would want to pair him with one, but
I'm gonna throw one out there. I got him on the screen. You can see my man Bucktooth Buddy, right? Buddy Hill, exceptional shooter, one of the top 5 in 3-point shooting threes made this season so far. right behind Steph, Damian Lillard, guys like that. Now,
you talking about Bucky Hill?
Now, I like Buddy a lot. I do think he's a bit ambitious with his shot selection, right? Particularly
ill-advised.
Particularly off the dribble. Yeah, a lot of ill-advised. But he is an exceptional shooter, and with the right coach, because obviously Sacramento doesn't have that, right? With the right coach, he'll be put in position to really help the team. Last night, I believe he went 7 for 8 in the first quarter. So he was on fire. So we know what Buddy can do. A lot of teams are going to want this guy. I think the Mavericks should be in play for Buddy Hield, right? And if they're even willing to throw out a Kristaps, I think that wouldn't be a horrible fit with the Kings, right?
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I do think Buddy is one of the guys that's on the move.
Yeah, Lee.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I like that move, man. Honestly, I think Buddy would be a good piece for so many teams in the league. But the Buddy we want, though, right? Not the dribbling, playmaking Buddy. We need catch and shoot Buddy. I mean, that Buddy can go to any team in the league. So, I think that's
Buddy's under the delusion that he's Kobe for some reason.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if I could slide in D before I throw it back to you, I'm loving I just had it. So not Kristaps. It's losing me. Scroll up, Lee. I seen one. Oh, okay, I got it. For the Lakers, fellas, what do we think about a Kevin Love move to the Lakers? A catch and shoot Kevin Love. That's something that I would like to see. I think he meshes good with LeBron. Now that contract situation, we might need to talk about. But I hear, per my sources, the Cavs are looking to move Kevin Love. So I think there might be room for him somewhere like a Los Angeles Lakers catch and shoot K Love.
I don't know how good that'd be for his mental state.
Right. Right.
Bron pretty much, set him off into a dark path,
right,
by relegating him to a catch and shoot on Cleveland.
Right.
But maybe he's willing to accept a role similar to that. I mean, we could use shooting. We could use some more floor stretchers. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't hate that. I personally feel like this can't be the end of K Love's, or rather K Hate's career.
You're right.
I don't want to see him rot there in Cleveland on the bench.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I necessarily. I wouldn't jump at that move. I'll say that.
Look, I heard also that the Cavaliers were looking to move Kevin Love. My sources also told me that Kevin Love was looking to move Kevin Love. Right? He does not want to be in Cleveland. He's riding away over there. The best thing that Cleveland has had to offer for him was the weather, so he can get his bespoke on. Right? Kevin Love's been top tier as far as winter fits.
Right.
I would say so. But I definitely think that it's time for him to make a move, as if the players have the power to do so, right? It's time for him to make a move. And also it's time for him to make a move to a contender. And if he does get on a contender, people better watch out. Because if you're already a contender and then you add a stretch four like Kevin Love,
right,
who was kind of like the prototype for these crafty ball handlers to have a consistent kick out guy that's a big man. You know what I mean? Well, for the new NBA, of course, we got Dirk and guys like that from prior, but in the new NBA, Kevin Love, he pretty much is that. You know what I mean? So I would definitely think like a team like the Nuggets, right?
Ooh.
They could be a big problem. Even if you keep Kristaps and you could still get a guy like K Love over there and then figure out Kristaps afterwards, after the season. I mean, things like that look really good. Also Portland, right? He's from that area. So, Portland, I see them as almost like the fighter that's gonna no matter what, they're gonna give themselves a punching chance this season. You know what I mean? So I think K Love can definitely help a squad. So that's a good move, Mark.
And don't be surprised either, if Portland tries to make a move for any of these guys we're naming right now, because they could definitely use big help, right?
Right.
Speaking of that, we're going to segue into my next pick, who I think is going to be moved, possibly to Portland, Lamarcus Aldridge.
Ooh.
Okay.
My sources tell me that he's not down with the timeline he's on right now in San Antonio, and he'd like to be on a team that puts him in a better chance to play in some big games. And my sources also tell me that, you know, he's had some time to think about his career, and he loved his time in Portland, and he also sees now that Dame is the guy there, so he'd be willing to fit more soundly into that role. So I think Lamarcus Aldridge could be a helpful piece for a contender as well.
I can see that. It's a shame that it's
smooth game, right?
Figure it out, huh?
I said smooth game.
Yeah, absolutely. Water, jump shot, mid-range jump shot, corner three. He's got all that. Can't move for a lick, right? You know, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Can't guard a soccer goal post. You know what I mean? But I like what he brings. They do have some toughness already over there as far as like Zach Collins when he gets back. Harry Giles, I like his toughness, even though he'll probably be playing more towards the end of the season. They got their guys, Nurkic and McCollum, back with the team now, so it's a matter of time before they're back on the floor. So I definitely think a guy like Lamarcus, listen, like you said, Black Portland needs all the help they can get. I ain't gonna front. That's where they at. They need a punching chance to survive this this postseason, right?
Right.
Now my next guy is gonna be John Collins. All right, I put the camera on him. I think John Collins. I think he's disgruntled over Trae Young's play style.
Yeah.
Right. He cannot stand that guy. All right.
Hey, neither can we, John.
Right.
He can't stand that little guy over there, right? You know what I mean? He's like, every time he sees Trae Young in the light, he's like, why I ought to, you know what I mean?
You just take him and just doink.
Right? That's how he feels about that little guy over there. So I definitely think John Collins is looking to make a move. And I would like to see him in Charlotte. I think him and LaMelo.
Of course you would, Lee.
Right.
Of course you would.
LaMelo would be a great pairing. And you know what? Matter of fact, let me get my Charlotte blue on. You know, I think him and LaMelo would be a great pairing. The lobs would be out of this world, and John Collins can fortify defensively a bit as well. But I think John Collins is going to make a move. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Mark, you got another guy you think is going to be on the move this coming up deadline?
Man, I got one more I wanted to toss to you fellas, get your take on it as to where you may see him landing. Now, per my sources, Victor Oladipo recently turned down a 2-year extension from the Houston Rockets. So it's needless to say, he's probably trying to get up out of there. Do you see them trading him? And if so, where do you think he would land?
Man, Black.
I did hear that as well. Man, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, because now I'm thinking like, who needs a player like Oladipo right now, like a contender?
Maybe Clippers.
There's so many guards on good teams already that it's kind of hard to like wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
Leak, I'm gonna throw it to you, man. Hey, it's beyond me.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, I've been hearing, per my sources, I've been hearing Depot's name being mentioned in trade talks as well. Probably before a lot of people's names were in trade talks. Oladipo, Lonzo Ball, those were two of the guys. Derrick Rose, right? These guys were heavy in trade talks. Now, Oladipo is tough because if right now they have John Wall and Victor Oladipo in Houston. If they get rid of one of them, or Oladipo, since he's the one with the contract expiring, who do they replace him with? And are they going in tank mode, right? That's the question. What is Houston going to do? Because if they're not looking to compete, then they want to get rid of Depot, then I understand it. But are they gonna tank to get a pick and rebuild? I know this isn't a Houston Rockets bloviation, right? This is more about Depot, but I'm just trying to think, is it even a smart move to move that guy? But he has been in trade talks since last season.
Well, he's gonna walk. He's gonna walk if you don't trade him.
You know what? I'm not going to front. I think it's tough to put Depot on a contender at this time, especially since we haven't seen him bounce back all the way from his injury. I will say this, though. You look at a team that is fighting to get into the playoffs, right? Or a team that's maybe peeking their head up above water that's been underwater for a couple seasons, like the New York Knicks, right? They might be looking to do something to fortify their position in the top of I think they're fourth in the East right now. They might say, yo, we don't want to slide back at all. So let's make a move to try to ensure us staying in the position that we're in, or even moving up even more. So I can see them with all the assets they got. I can see them making a move to get a Depot.
Hey, I like that, Lee. Hey,
we
all know that the Knicks have slowly become Black Mo's favorite team on the East.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Absolutely.
You know who else could use a Depot though? The Indiana Pacers.
Wow.
Why did they trade him? I still don't understand that move at all. I mean, maybe he was unhappy there, something like that. But the Indiana Pacers could use Oladipo right now. They slid ever since that trade.
Also, the 76ers could use Oladipo, right?
Absolutely.
They could use Oladipo. They've got some assets, but you know what? It's
Miami Heat.
Miami Heat, for real.
Get rid of some of them shooters,
right?
Tyler, Hero, some of those guys,
right?
And bring Oladipo in there,
right? Yeah, I'd probably move Tyler and keep Duncan. You know what I mean? Because we know all Duncan has to do is run around screens and shoot. We know he's going to be able to do that. Tyler
wants his own squad anyway at this point.
Right?
Tyler wants to do much more than what they need him to do right now. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right. Yeah. So I think we can leave it there, fellas. I think we've got the No Hesi community's gears turning, so to speak, right?
Absolutely.
One more, fellas, and we don't even got to bloviate on this. Don't be surprised if Andre Drummond is moved by deadline.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right? Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely gonna keep our eyes on him. So, fellas, now this is the topic that we really want to get into. We want to discuss All-Star Weekend. We want to talk about the All-Stars, and then we want to talk about the All-Star snubs, man. So let's really get into this here. Black, we're going to kind of start with you. I guess we could run through the list of the All-Stars first and then kind of react to that. So as we see the list here, let's start with the East. Starting five, we have Kevin Durant. We have Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bradley Beal, Joel Embiid, and Kyrie Irving, rounding out the starters. And then we got the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Julius Randle, Ben Simmons, Nikolai Vucevic, and Domantas Sabonis. So that's the East. For the West, starting five, of course, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikolai Jokic, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, which I don't know if he's going to actually play, but we'll go there. Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, Zion Williamson, and Devin Booker. Thoughts, fellas?
Well, Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis won't be playing.
Okay.
They already announced that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't know who they got in their stead, or if that's been announced yet. But yeah, just starting there, those guys won't be there.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see who replaces them.
Yeah.
I know we were talking about Jimmy Butler being asked to play on the East.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was approached to replace, I believe it was KD, or just kind of be a alternate, and he declined because he said he wants Bam Adebayo. He thinks he should really get that. that nod to the All-Star game this year. So it's interesting to see who will take that place.
Yo, I mean,
Well,
go ahead, Black. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to start there for us. I mean, looking at the East and the way that they're constructed as far as their big man, does Jimmy Butler have a point? Does Adebayo deserve to be there over any of these bigs?
Well, let's look at who they have as the bigs, right? So they've got Giannis. Is he better than Giannis?
Nope.
Is he better than Joel Embiid?
No way.
Nope.
So that's the starters right there. And now let's go to the reserves. Is he having a better season than Julius Randle? You see how I changed the narrative, right? Is he having a better season than Julius Randle right now?
No.
No. Is he having a better season than Nikola Vucevic?
Nope.
I wouldn't say so.
And for the last, this one will be closer. This right here is the only chance that Bam out of the Bayou has to make the All-Star team this year. Is he having a better season than Domantas Sabonis?
Numbers wise, I would say no.
Yeah, numbers wise, no.
Number wise, I would say no as well. And their records, I think the Pacers are also one of those teams grouped up in that 17 win space over in the East. So
that clustered mess.
Absolutely. So Bam's he would be the worst center on the roster on the East if he was to make the All-Star team.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Butler, he has pull. He's got cachet. He's got flavor. He's very persuasive, right? Mm-hmm. But he ain't that damn persuasive. Right?
I think it looks like Sabonis was there to replace Kevin Durant per the underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, it does say that. Okay. Yep, replaces injured Kevin Durant. Correct. Yeah. Yep. So. And then Booker replaces AD. I mean, we could go to the West. Did y'all? Now, aside from Bam, because he made it last year, so I can understand how he feels snubbed and how the Miami Heat feel like he's been snubbed. Jimmy Butler being the spokesperson for that squad with a bunch of young guys, I can see how he would go that route too. Is there anybody else on the East that you believe was snubbed and should be on the roster that's not on there?
Can we slowly scroll back up through this?
Yep.
It's like all the people I'm seeing so far definitely seem as though they earned it.
Yes. Glad to see Levine finally get his.
I agree.
He deserved it.
Hey, he's more than just a dunker.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I think the East got it on the money.
I think they got it right.
I think the East. Everybody I see there are guys that I would have had on squad.
They got it right. I think the only thing is well, no, I won't go there. I'll save that. I'll say that for another year. I like to see the Ball brothers under the spotlight. So
I was going to make mention of that. Of that.
You know what? I voted, but obviously, the media and the players don't see things the same way I do. So, No, but
there's too many elite guards to give him that look.
Melo will get his time to be an all-star. That's a fact. Absolutely. And he'll probably be the one guy that everybody wants to see throwing behind the back passes. Imagine what he's going to do in an all-star game, right? As far as the passes and the ability. So he'll get his time. But let's look at the West. Look at that. Levine really battled back from that ACL injury. That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah. Hey, and he's got Bulls in contention right now.
That's I haven't
without Laurie marketing for most of the season.
Yeah. Trae Young was he snubbed?
Oh.
Yeah, I can't.
Hey, well, you know how no Hesi feels about Trae Young, so we're not going to mince words.
Right.
On whether or not he should be an all-star. I say no.
I feel like a lot of guys are.
I say he should be OTL.
Should he be an all-star? Absolutely. In China.
Not a fan.
Let's move on to the West. You guys want to move on to the West?
Yes.
Yeah.
let's see. So, the king, obviously, right? I don't think we need to what's understood doesn't have to be explained, right?
Hey, yo, I'm just imagining LeBron James Hall of Fame bust and how big that head is gonna be.
Right. They're gonna have to extend the beard out of the facial on the bust. You know what I mean?
Now, my question is: are they gonna have headband Bron? Or are they gonna have Bron with the toupee?
Right.
Toupee
Bron.
Right. We got Steph. We have
Luka.
Deserving. Jokic, deserving. Kawhi, deserving. Now, AD, obviously, deserving.
And actually, and you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Can we backtrack just a little bit? Because I already got some hate for the West list.
Right.
Do we really have Luka in the starting lineup? I know it's voted, right? But do we have Luka in the starting lineup over Dame?
No.
With the season he's having?
I think Dame, you can argue Dame or Donovan Mitchell deserve that spot.
Right.
Donovan Mitchell's having an MVP season.
Absolutely. I would definitely
we're giving too much love to Luka, man. I'm sorry, man. Right. I'm gonna keep coming back to that, man. Hey, we're giving way too much love to this guy.
I'll say this though, fellas. I also am under the understanding that that Dame should be starting over Luka in the All-Star game, right? Now, with that being said, the fact that Luka in just 3 seasons has made it an argument, right? He's made it a fight. He's made it to where if I say Luka and you say Dame, well, who's right? You know what I mean? The fact is Luka's made a case, and just by doing that basically puts him in a position where he's earned whatever he gets. So
those numbers are incredible. I must say.
The numbers are off the hook. Now, those are they for some reason they do feel inflated in my heart. You know what I mean?
They're empty.
Yeah,
they're empty. Right.
They're very empty. Yeah. And when we're looking back on how many patches, Luka has on his Letterman, right, and how many say a Dame or Donovan have. If Luka has more starting patches, more accolades, I'm gonna have a problem with that.
That's an indictment on the drill sergeant, right?
Right.
If Luka's got more patches than Dame Lillard, right? You know what I mean? That's an indictment on the drill sergeant. I agree.
Yeah.
Now,
as far as snubs go, wait, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say AD's numbers aren't even that great this season. Not even going front. Look at that.
Yeah.
22 and 8. Hey, look, this is what you get when you play with him, right?
Right.
You get that.
Hey, nah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. AD is underachieving this year. He's coasting.
Absolutely. Okay. He's coasting. That's the narrative. I'll take that. I'll
take
that.
I say resting on his laurels. That's what I say.
Also,
somebody else
for a guy like that, right? It's a lock for a guy like that, right?
Yeah, true. Somebody, and we can get into our snubs here. Somebody who I feel like does not deserve to be on this list, and we've been giving him a hard time this season. I've got a lot of love for this guy. Chris Paul does not deserve.
How
does Chris Paul get on this list, man?
Look at that.
He made it over Devin Booker.
Look at that.
Those numbers are pathetic. I'm just gonna say it.
Hey,
they're good, but not all-star good though, right?
Yeah.
Look,
man.
this is all so that Chris Paul can preserve his legacy.
Right.
That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
First team. 2013 All-Star MVP. Yeah. So Chris is ingratiated. Isn't he the president of the Players Association? Yeah.
One could say
absolute power. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely, man.
Hold on. Let's get a zoom in on this guy. He just looks. Doesn't he look like he just like this corruption? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's definitely not a smile I could trust. I'll tell you that.
It's like this. He's been around the block so many times, right? He knows who's parked on the street, right?
How did he make it over Devin Booker? That's what I don't understand. Devin Booker is clearly the best player on the Suns.
Yeah.
Shout out to Donovan, 2-time, and shout out to Zion for the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good look. Zion with 25 and 7, first time All-Star.
Yo, should Rudy Gobert be in there, man?
14 and 13.
Like, come on, man. Hey, numbers look real pedestrian, man.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's because his team is the number 1 team in the West, right, or best team in the league, so to speak. Now, I wonder if Andre Drummond had those same stats.
I think Andre Drummond's stats are better than his.
Would he? Yeah, and he obviously. So is he snubbed?
It might be a snub, fellas.
Do we have that? Do we have that list, Lee? Snub list? Snub nose?
Let me see. Man. I'll tell you this, man.
Skip. I'm willing to debate with you on your Rudy Gobert take on the next episode. No.
Man.
Me and Shaq gonna die on this hill.
So as far as snubs, fellas, any other ones jump out to you?
I'm trying to see. There's got to be a list, right? Of these guys, of the guys that should have made it.
I mean, it's definitely what is that word where it's subjective, right?
Subjective. There we go.
Right.
But with that being said, let's so Devin Booker, he got in the same way he got in the first time, right? Off somebody's injury.
By default.
Mike Conley, right?
I was gonna say him over CP. To be real.
Bam and Jimmy, Chris Middleton. DeMontis, well, he got in as well.
He made it.
DeRozan could have went in over CP, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I mean, look, it's subjective, but I definitely think CP. They don't necessarily need to have him on the roster, but it is good for the weekend. I'm pretty sure the Players Association will be boots on the ground.
You talking about the artist?
The artist? The flop artist? Yeah.
No, you're talking about the weekend? Abel?
No. I'm just All-Star. That was the other event, right? That was the other event, okay? We're talking about this one. Hey, but look, the Players Association will be boots on ground during All-Star weekend, right? They'll be moving like the NOI, right? they'll be moving like the NOI, trying to protect Rod and Katie from COVID. You know what I mean? So.
Hey, Chris Paul had to make sure he was there so he could see firsthand, right?
Right. Chris Paul's gonna be walking next to Bron like those guys that walk next to MLK, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
Messi and the crew.
Yo, do these guys partying for this weekend?
I say yeah.
Privately.
Yeah, I say yeah.
Like a little like some type of super spreader COVID castle situation.
Right. Yeah. Hey, CP's gonna be walking next to Bron like Stanley Levinson. All right. With the Players Association walking behind them all like the NOI. Hey, but I think that's it for the list. It pretty much is what it is at this point. Shout out to Zach LaVine and Zion Williamson for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we'll all be tuning in, man. I mean, it's basketball. We're there. We're pulling up.
Right.
So, fellas, we're gonna move on. The hour's getting away from us, but we have to go through this week's pick'ems on a shortened week at that. So, I want to get you guys' picks. So, if you're ready, let's go ahead and hit it. And if you're watching us here throw your pick down in the comment section. We want to see who you got winning these games. So for Monday, we have the Hornets going against the Blazers. Black, we're going to start with you.
I'm going to take the Blazers.
All right. Lee?
And shout out to Skip for standing on that Rudy Gobert hill. All right. Real quick, because he is a massive detriment to all scorers around the league, particularly. But I've got the Hornets, obviously. All right.
All right. So also later today, we have the Mavs going against the Orlando Magic. Leak, who you got there?
Hey, did Black pick on the Hornets and Blazers yet?
Yeah, he picked the Blazers.
Yeah, I picked the Blazers.
Okay. Just needed that for the record. I'm gonna go with the one Black hates lately. I'm gonna go with the Mavericks. Well, I don't know why Blacks hate Luka so much, right? But I'm gonna go and see the Mavericks at this point, right?
I'm gonna take the Magic.
Black Moses, all right.
I'm gonna take the Magic.
All right. And then Tuesday we have the Suns versus the Lakers. Who you got there, Black?
I mean, the Lakers appear to be like rounding off into shape. They just got Schroeder back, but I can't trust it. I'm gonna go with the Suns, man.
All right. Lee?
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with the Suns right now too. I think this is my first or second time picking against the Lakers, but this you could tell Bron's really ready for the All-Star break. Not necessarily the game, but the break. So I definitely think that they're mailing it home these last couple games, so to speak.
Yeah. All right. Also Tuesday we have the Clippers versus.
Hey, shout out to Skip, man. Extremely timely with the comments.
It's just a movie. It's just a movie of me having a conversation with myself in the mirror the whole time. Just going through different emotions.
All right, we got the Clippers versus the Celtics. Leak, let's start with you.
I got I'm gonna go with Brad Stevens. I mean the Celtics.
I'm definitely taking the Clips, man.
All right.
Come on, let's not be ridiculous, all right?
Look, hey, we've got to create separation one way or another, Black.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, the Celtics barely beat the Wizards, all right? And I'm not necessarily gonna jump on the Wizards bandwagon yet either.
Hey, but Black, I just also want to add in there that the Wizards, I mean the Clippers barely beat the Wizards.
Yeah. All right, so for Wednesday, we have the Bulls versus the Pelicans. Black, who you got there?
This one was kind of tough, man. I think I'm gonna go with the Pels though. Zion, I'm not gonna go against Zion.
Got you, Lee.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Black on this. I'm gonna go with the Pels over the Bulls as well.
All right. Also that day, we have the Jazz going up against the Sixers. Leak, who you got there?
I'm gonna roll with the Jazz. I'm rocking with Billy Don right now.
Yo, let's see what Rudy Gobert does against a formidable opponent. I'm going with the Sixers.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. Two best teams record-wise in the league, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's a lot of real estate in Rudy Gobert's head top. All right.
All right. So on Thursday, we have the Heat going against the Pels. Black, who you got there?
I'm gonna take the Pels again.
All right.
Yeah. I'm rolling with the Pels as well. I think Zion, the holy Mount Zion, will body Bam out of the bayou before halftime.
I like that.
And he's gonna go up for a dunk, and Bam out of the body, he's gonna try to contest it, and Zion's gonna do an RKO on him.
Hey, definitely. I don't think Ben wants it with Mount Zion.
Nah.
Man. I'll tell you that right now.
Don't let that smoke.
All I see is violence. All I see is violence with that.
Yeah. All right. Also, that day for our final game, we have the Raptors versus the Celtics. Who you got there, Black?
Oh man, I'm gonna take the Raptors. This episode, I am anti-Celtics. All right,
Lee.
Hey, look, man. There you go. Hey, listen, you know who I got? I got the great Danny Ainge, right? And the exceptional coach that he's chosen to lead his franchise. All right.
Hey, one thing I will say
with the RKO out of nowhere, right? He's Jerry the King Lawler to call that too, right? What was you gonna say, Mike?
I was gonna say every time we hate on No Hesi, that team or that player ends up turning it around.
Yeah.
So I will acknowledge that as a fact, a little no Hesi factoid.
Yeah.
Also, I want to
watching the show. All right, and that's why I keep changing the lights. All right, and he's got something for you, Black. All right, you're gonna find out. All right,
you're gonna show us his dark side.
He's gonna show us his what's the coach for the Heat? He's gonna show us his Eric Spoelstra. Absolutely,
Bolster.
Right.
To keep it topical, fellas, who you got? East or West All-Stars? And comments who you got so we can hold y'all accountable next week.
All right.
All right. Go ahead, Lee.
I'm gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna do. Look, Mark, you go ahead and you can throw it out because we're doing pick'ems every Monday, for 20 minutes and going over them. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull up the roster for you, Mark, and I'm gonna let you draw first blood. All right.
You know what, fellas? I'm going with the East, man. The East is looking really good this year. We got pretty much the entire net squad, right?
Right.
We got Embiid. Embiid was giving Bron and then work in the clutch moments of last year's game. That was an exciting game. I'm going with the East. All
right. Look, Black. You want to go or you want me to go, Black? What you trying to do?
You go first.
All right. So, I looked at the first two people, right, on the Billard, and I immediately made my decision, right.
Mm-hmm.
But as I scrolled, I started to second guess myself, and a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, right. So as soon as I saw the king, and I made my decision, but then I saw his sworn enemy. Right? And I also saw another man that bodied him in the clutch, right?
Yeah.
And another man that bodied him, right? And another man who's not afraid of him, right?
Yeah.
And another man who can get physical with him, right? So I'm gonna go with the East too. I'm gonna go with the East like Mark.
I was actually hoping you boys would do that. Hey, look. Hey, it's just me and Tupac, man. It's me and Tupac. We're going with the West, man.
All right.
We're going with the
You
West.
relying on your favorite Steph or what?
Man. Well, actually, I'm hoping that Luka Doncic could go for 40 in a dub.
Okay.
No. I just think the West is pretty fortified at every position. And although there are some mismatches, I think I just like the way the West is constructed. There's several shooters. You got clutch players in Dame. You got playoff P, or in this case, All-Star P.
Right.
Who's he's always looking to show out in front of the pretty girls.
Right.
I think the West is gonna edge the East out. It's gonna be a close game though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good one.
I like that. Hey, they said they're keeping the same competitive format as last year's. So we can only hope that this year's is at least as competitive as it was last year for sure.
Can we just go ahead and call this the Mamba Classic at this point?
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Skip says he's got the East. Bruh says he's got the West. Bruh says East has more to prove. So I don't know why he would choose the West then. That's Bruh, right? Shout out to Bruh.
Hey, Bruh has definitely been keeping it consistent with his troll. So
yeah.
And you never know what he really thinks. You know what I mean?
Slowly forming into his GOAT version, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro definitely wants Skip's spot as the number one in the comment section.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be
goated
out with his clothing attire. I will say that.
Facts. Hey, speaking of which,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me.
Yeah, let's get it.
Look at this, man.
Ooh,
oh, that's dope.
Look at that.
Look at this, man.
Yeah, he's on another level.
Hey, but look, hey, as the kids say, if you know, you know.
That was like an exclusive right there. I ain't seen that one yet.
Hey, man, it has yet to hit the streets yet, man.
All right. Shout out to
all right, fellas. So before we, I'm sorry, Lee. Go ahead.
No, we good. We did the pick 'em. Yep.
I was gonna say, but before we close, man, we want to always close the show with something that we like to call hoop homage or homage, however your dialect is. But we're gonna pass it over to Leak now because me and Black, we have no idea what this is gonna be. So
right.
without further ado.
All right. So this week's hoop homage. If you notice, the title of the show is called the title of this week's show is Down is Up, right? A lot of the things are kind of all over the place. So I wanted to pick a hoop homage that kind of was like a little kooky, didn't quite make sense. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we're in the Twilight Zone or what? You know what I mean? So without further ado, I'll go ahead and let this run. So this week's hoop homage will be
stuff. Oh, you went from the bench. You went from the
28 and 8.
Another.
He really got his discombobulated.
He went from the bench to that, basically. So it's sort of coming out.
Jeremy Lin. We will be watching Lin's Sanity highlights. All right.
Yo, he had a hot run though, man.
Yo.
Hey, he's been very vocal this week as well about relations with the Asian community.
Yeah.
He came and took the league by storm. We can't even front. Oh. And one.
It was almost an out-of-body experience, wasn't it? I mean, where did this guy come from? And where did he go?
In the Twilight Zone, Mark.
Yeah.
He took the spotlight from Carmelo.
Hey, we didn't know if up was down, right?
Yeah.
He took the spotlight from Carmelo this season.
He did.
I mean, it's like everything he did on the floor was just like.
Ooh.
And remember, Duran was hot, right?
Yeah.
Look at that, bro. Yo.
Hey, bro. He really couldn't be stopped.
Look at that.
Talk about Lin and how to prevent him from being a catalyst tonight. Well,
Yeah, this was definitely very apropos, Lee. After the week, he had to do.
Good luck, man. Yeah, he was on one. He was on one throughout this run, man. I mean,
look at it. Look at the handle.
It was a joy to watch. I was glued
really
to every Knicks game. I had to check them out.
Yeah.
Hey, I was definitely rocking. I was rocking with him on 2K.
Yep.
I ain't front. He was nice on 2K.
Hey, and this is before his transfer. Look at that. Even getting Tyson involved, right?
Look at him waving off the help.
Right, waving off the help. Look, he says, "I got him." Right.
See, hey, nowadays they would have pulled that up, right?
Right.
That would have been a pull-up.
You know, I watched a mini doc on him and the breakdown of like where did he go. They said he was really great in the PNR, in the pick and roll, and then when he started to go to these other teams, they wasn't giving him that pick and roll. And as I watched this, that's really all how he's getting all his work off. It's all off pick and roll.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's
Hey,
true.
look, you know what? Because he went to other teams with other guards who are already established.
Exactly.
And they didn't want to give him those plays that those guards would usually get, right?
Yeah.
The Lindemic himself.
The Lindemic.
Facts.
Hey, and he finessed an incredible contract after this season as well.
He did.
Because he came, but didn't he come from the G League or the D League at that time?
Yeah, he came from the D League. Absolutely. And also, after he got the bag, he got crazy, like a real Rodman, right?
Yeah, he did.
Remember the hairstyles, right?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yo,
You're right about that.
He even had locks, right? He did locks.
Yeah, he did.
He went wild with it. He went wild with it.
Yeah, you're right though, Mark. He was getting it in off the pick and roll.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every time down.
Yeah, shout out to Jeremy Lin, man.
Right.
He said that he and not to take it here, not to get too dark, but
right.
He said there was some trash talk in the G League where they had some derogatory words towards him and his people, and he kind of dropped like a presser in regards to that, and in regards to what's been happening in several communities around the U.S. Over the past few months.
Yeah.
I think it's dope that he's taking it upon himself to kind of speak out against some of those issues. I'd love to see him back and get another shot back in the league, man. I definitely think he could make it in the league. We've already seen that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I agree with you, right? Oh, my bad, Mark. Go ahead. My fault.
No, Lee. I was just gonna say he just needs the right opportunity, I think, and he could definitely still get it in. You know what I mean?
The right situation for sure, like a reserve on a contender. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see him reserving for a Brooklyn, something like that, right? Getting back to Brooklyn and being a reserve. But I agree with you, Black. It is good to see him standing up for his people, and also pushing back against because he is the underdog. Genetically in the when it comes to this sport, you know what I mean? So for him to clap back at guys and to push back and to hold his own out there, to have stints of domination, to be in the G League and to be like mentoring those guys, you know what I mean? And still playing.
Right.
I love to see it, man. I love to see it.
Yeah.
And I rock.
Hey, he had Tyson Chandler looking like a goat, right?
He did.
He got Tyson Chandler looking like Anthony Davis. This is the one though. This is the one because we'll see this to me was the
climax.
I would say the peak of Linsanity was the game against Kobe. I would say that, right?
Yeah.
I would say that. But this was right before
that probe work.
Right. This was right before that.
Off the bounce.
And, the end of this game is it was Linsanity in full swing, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Leak, can we acknowledge some of the comments as well while we're looking at this too?
Absolutely.
Let the fellas get some words in.
Absolutely. He had beef with Kenyon Martin. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I wouldn't want beef with K-Dot, right?
He had the lock side shade. He did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, I wonder if that
he was looking like an avatar, right?
Yeah.
At a certain point.
All right, here we go, fellas. Here we go. So look, 22 seconds left. It's a tie game, right? Look, fresh shot clock. He waves off his coach.
Man.
Right? with the full stadium in Toronto. He's outside of his jurisdiction, even, right? He's even further outside of his jurisdiction.
Clock down, y'all.
Right.
Clutch
Oh.
work.
Even Toronto fans went crazy.
He hit the little shimmy on him.
Man.
Hey, man. Shout out to Jaylen, man. Shout out to Jaylen. Let's see. Bubba says, if Corey Joseph is in the league, Jeremy Lin can be in the league. Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are facts.
Corey Joseph, he got Hesi'd and scored on with the game on the line last night.
He did. He gave. Some would even say he gave up the game, right?
Yeah, he gave Malik Monk gave him an up fake, and he bit the game, right?
And Lightweight gave up the ghost.
Lightweight gave up his roster spot too, right? Hey, I ain't gonna front. Hey, they could flop, they could switch, right? Jeremy Lin, you know what I mean? Like send Jeremy Lin to the Kings and send man,
Corey
I forgot
Joe.
his name that quick, right? You see that? Send Corey Joseph right to the G League and let him be a mentor.
Corey Joe looking like he's put on a little bit of weight too, right, fellas?
I agree. Looking a little thick in the neck area, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. He got a who's got a ring? I know Corey Joe's got a ring. Does
Lin got a ring with the Warriors, I think.
I was gonna say he might have got one on the Warriors.
Word? Okay. Hey, Skip, clarify that.
So he's got DNA.
I take that back. Toronto.
He was on the Toronto roster. That's right. Good call, Mark. Good call.
So he's got DNA.
He's got DNA. Right. Hey, he's a player. He's a real fixture, right?
That'd be a good look.
Yeah.
Corey Joseph, the tank commander. Lightweight leading the second unit to the tank, right? The on-ball tank commander, on-ball tank facilitator. Hey, he really gave up the game for the tank, right? Yes.
He solidified the process, if you will.
The Raptors, that's right. Hey, man.
Lee.
Hey, Corey Joseph's really just in Halliburton's way at this point. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Whereas Jeremy Lin could help actually like give Halliburton some DNA, right?
Right.
Hey, I think Corey Jones utilized all his DNA from that Spurs run, right?
Yep.
Hey, that was so many years ago.
Yeah. Hey, he's lightweight. You know, like when the serum runs out and you're no longer big and strong, and you know it no longer cut. That's what happened to Corey Joe, right? His DNA ran out.
Hey, and he got mentioned in a Drake bar, so that also depletes you a little bit, right?
Yeah, right. That's probably why he's still in the league at this point, right? That Disney stimulus package, right? It works for expiring hoopers too, I guess.
Yeah, man. Well, Leak, man, we appreciate you taking us back in time for the hoop homage, man. We appreciate it. And to all our listeners, man, we appreciate you guys being on and being active in the chat.
Absolutely.
Do us a huge favor, man. Tell somebody about what we're doing here. To me, this is the dopest hoopcast in the game right now. No cap. Absolutely, man. So, fellas, I'm gonna leave final word for you. Black, we'll start with you, and then Leak, and then we'll go ahead and sign off.
Man, y'all have emboldened me. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. We are the best hoopcast out there. You know what I mean? Not JJ Redick, right? Not Bill Simmons,
right? Not Gilbert Arenas, right?
Not Gil Arenas, not the knuckleheads, right? Not all the smoke,
right?
No Hesi is bringing you that real hoop culture, all right? And that's my words for today, man.
Hey, I appreciate that, Black. Hey, even the ex-players in the league are scared to touch on the topics that no Hesi deals with, right? I thought they had a handle, right? But they can't handle these topics, right? These heavy topics. Everybody wants to bloviate in that safe space. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, they want to wait till we touch on it first.
Right. Cats want to wait, right? Cats want to do it. You know, it's a monkey see, monkey do league. That's what I heard. You know what I mean? Apparently, that is the way it's looking. But Shout out to everybody that joined us in the chat. Shout out to you two brothers. Shout out to Mondays, right? You know what I mean? I mean, this was extremely lit. Shout out to Jeremy Lin. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I appreciate y'all for giving me the go ahead to pull the strings on the hoop homage. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mark with the setup. Shout out to Black with the title work. You know what I mean? We're just gonna keep doing the 3-man weave on this thing until we get that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. So
shout out to Pops.
Yeah, shout out to Pops for checking it out.
Hey, Zion, get in shape, man. The Pops said it,
right? So, fellas, without further ado, man, we're gonna holler at everybody on the next episode. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, we out.